Okay, this assignment is from your Engage New York Module 3 book, and this is how it's labeled in Skyward, like this, with the page numbers and problems assigned. And since it's just page 5, you're going to do all of page 5, okay? Now, when it's just one page like it was for just page 5, you are allowed to write directly on your math book, but please make sure you put your name up here in class period. And when you turn it into the turn-in bin, have it open to that page, but make sure you have the proper heading up there, okay? So I know who to award points to, okay? And that only works when there's only one page assignment, when it's only a one-page assignment. If this would have said pages 5, 6, and 7 or something, then you would need to transfer your work and your problems onto a separate sheet of paper, a blank sheet of paper, with the proper heading and turn that in, okay? But if it's one page, you're fine to turn in the packet. All right, so right up here is a lesson summary. Go ahead and read that on your own because I'm assuming this packet is in front of you, your math book. All right, so for problems 1 through 9, write equivalent expressions by combining like terms. Verify the equivalence of your expression and the given expression by evaluating each for the given values. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 5, C is equal to -3. So I'm going to do these 3 problems right here, and I'm going to combine like terms. I know that they have the exact same ending, so this term is 3a plus 5a that term, and that is going to be 8a, okay? And they're telling us that a is equal to 2. So when we do this, a times 2, and that is equal to 16, okay? You just substitute the value they give you in for that, all right? Okay, so next up, right here I see 3a plus 5a, and those are like terms, so 3a plus 5a is 8a, plus that 6, and then that's going to be equal to 8 times, we got to substitute, instead of the a, you put the 2 in there, they're telling you what the value of a is, plus 6, so this right here is 16 plus 6, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, is 22. Okay, and right here, combine those like terms, 3a plus 5a, that right there is 8a, then that positive 6 minus 2 is 6 minus 2 is a positive 4, okay? Substitute in that a right there, so this is really 8 times 2 plus 4, and we have, what's 16 plus 4, which is 20, okay? The most important thing I want you to get out of this is really to know how to simplify, all right? Okay, right here, 8b minus 4b, 8 minus 4 is 4, so 4b, and they want us to substitute the value in, so 4 times b is 5, 4 times 5, that's 20, okay? 8b minus 4b is 4b plus 8. Okay, and they want us to substitute 5 in for b, so 4 times 5 plus 8, that's 20 plus 8, which equals 28. Okay, simplify here, 8b minus 4b is 4b. Then we have 8 minus 3, 8 minus 3 is a positive 5. Okay, substitute in that right there. So 4 times 5 plus 5. This is 20 plus 5, which is 25. Okay, right here, simplify it. 5c plus 4c plus c. Remember, there's only one c right there. So if you want, you can put the coefficient as 1. So 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 1 more is 10. So this is 5c plus 4c plus 1c is 10c. They wanted to substitute that in right there. So this is really 10 times a -3, which is -30. And next thing we got to do is simplify right here. 5c minus 4c is 1c. Well, plus c. 1c plus 1c is 2c. Simplify that, or substitute that in. 2 times -3 is -6. Okay? And 5c minus 4c is 1c plus c minus 3c. 1c plus 1c is 2c. 2c minus 3c is -1c, or just -c. Put this in there. Oh, this is kind of tricky. So it'd be -1 times -3, which is a positive 3. Okay? Now I'm going to show you that these are all equivalent, okay? So back to over here, when I substitute that 2 in there, put a 2 there and a 2 right there. And you know when a number's smushed next to a variable, that means multiply. So this isn't really 32 and this isn't really 52. It's 3 times 2, which is 6. And then 5 times 2, which is 10. 6 plus 10 is 16. And that's what we got once we substituted it at the end, okay? Right here, again, we were substituting in a 2 and a 2, multiply. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 6 plus 10. So that's really 12 plus 10, which is 22, which is what we originally got, which we got right here. Okay, right here, we are substituting a 2. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 6, already there. 5 times 2 is 10, so plus 10 minus 2. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 10 is 22. 22 minus 2 is 20, which is what we got when we simplified it over there. For this one, for the b's, we had to substitute in a 5. So if I put in a 5 right there, it's not 85, it's 8 times 5. So that 8 times 5 is 40. Minus 4 times 5 is 20. So 40 minus 20 is 20. Yep, we got that. We're plugging in a 5, substituting a 5. So that's 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 8 minus 4 times 5 is 20. So 40 plus 8 is 48. Subtract 20 is 28, which is what we got right there. Number 8, substitute in that 5. So times 5 right there. 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 8 minus 4 times 5 is 20. Minus 3. It's hard for me to read. So I'm going to kind of make this easier for myself. I'm going to go 40 minus 20 is 20. 20 plus 8 is 28. 28 minus 3 is 25. Cool, that's what we got. Okay, this one, these next 3, we substitute in a negative 3. So 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Plus 4 times negative 3 is a negative 12. And then plus a negative 3. So negative 15 minus 12 is negative 27. Negative 27 minus 3 is a negative 30, which is what we got. Okay, you're going to right here plug in that negative 3. So 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Minus 4. So negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12. Plus c, so c is negative 3, so minus 3. Okay, so 15 plus 12. 15 plus 12 is negative 3. Negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6, which is what we got. Okay, this negative 3 goes right here, so 5 times a negative 3 is negative 15. And then a negative 4, or minus 4 times a negative 3. Negative 4 times negative 3 is a positive 12. Plus c, so c was negative 3, so plus a negative 3. Minus 3 times a negative 3 times a negative 3 is a positive 9. Okay, so I have negative 15 plus 12, that's negative 3. Negative 3 minus 3, negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 9 is 3, which is what we got. Okay, the next couple of problems. Use any order, any grouping to write equivalent expressions by combining like terms. Then verify the equivalence of your expression to the given expression by evaluating for the values given in each problem. So 3 times 6a is 18a. And then a is equal to 3. So 18 times 3 is 54. So we have 18 times 3, which is 54. I'm going to go ahead and verify it right now. So I'm going to put that right there. So it's really 3 times 6 times 3. So that right there is 18. So it's 3 times 18, which is what we got right there. Okay, so 5d times 4 should be 20d, and we're going negative 2 for d, so 20 times negative 2, and that is negative 40. So let's go ahead and substitute that in right now. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Negative 10 times 4 is negative 40, which is what we got. Okay, 5r times a negative 2 is negative 10r, and we're substituting this negative 3 in for the r, so it's really negative 10 times negative 3, which is positive 30. Okay, let's verify it. So negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Negative 15 times a negative 2. Negative times a negative is positive. So that's going to be positive 30, just like we got. Okay, 3b times 8 is 24b. Plus negative 2 times 7c is a negative 14c. So when you go plus and negative, it's cool if you just put minus. It doesn't matter. Same thing. Okay, oh, and they want us to substitute both values in, so 24 times b, so it'd be 24 times 2, plus a negative 14 times 3. 24 times 2 is 48, plus a negative 42, so that equals 48 minus 42 is 6. Okay, let's go ahead and verify it. Put the 2 in over there. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Plus negative 2 times 14 times c. So 3 times 7 is 21. Negative 2 times 21. So it's negative 42. And 48 plus a negative 42 is 6, just like we got. Okay, right here you should get negative 12s plus, positive times a negative is minus 2t. So s is 1/2, so negative 12 times 1/2 minus 2 times negative 3. Half of negative 12 is negative 6, so that's negative 6. Then negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. Okay, let's go ahead and substitute that in. 3 times 1/2 is 1 5/10. 1 5/10 times a negative 4 is negative 6. So that right there is negative 6. Plus 2 times a negative t. Okay, this one's weird. You plug that in right there. So it's really a negative 3, which is a positive 3. Okay, so negative 6 plus 3 is, I messed up here. 6 plus, 2 times a positive 3 is 6, so negative 6 plus 6 is 0, just like we got. Okay, this right here is 36p minus 6q plus p. So I'm just going to go ahead and substitute in 36 times p times negative 1 minus 6 times q, which is 4, plus p is negative 1. Okay, simplify this out. Negative 36 minus 24 plus a negative 1. So that right there is, so that's negative 60 plus a negative 1 is negative 61. Okay, let's see here. Plug that in. Negative 1 times that. So 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. Any other paper? Okay. Minus 2 times 3 times q is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus p is negative 1. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this right here. So negative 36 minus 24 plus a negative 1. That right there is negative 60 plus a negative 1 equals negative 61, which is what we got when we simplified it. Okay, this right here is 28g plus 15h. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6g. Plug in a half for g, so it's 28 times a half plus 15 times h minus 6 times g. Okay, half of 28 is 14. Plus, let's see, a third of 15 is 5. Minus a half of 6 is 3. Okay, that's 19, 18, 16. Okay. All right, and we can do that whole long process. To figure this part out, half of 4 is 2. So 2 times 7 is 14. And then h is a third, so a third of 5 is 5/3. 5/3 times 3 is 5, so that's plus 5. And then -3, half of -3 is -1 1/2. -1 1/2 times 2 is -3. Okay, so 19, 18, 17, 16. So that's 16 also, just like we got. Okay, have a good day. Bye.